know who he is, he's a representative from Florida. He's the same guy who bragged about not washing his hands after he had a handshake with Netanyahu. He's repeatedly introduced bills to criminalize anti-Semitism, infringing upon free speech. I mean, he obviously, I'm sorry to say, but he obviously cares more about Israel than he does, principles like free speech. So, buddy, like, my advice to you, Randy Fine, is just move to Israel at this point. Like, considering you had to go through anger management classes a few years ago, I genuinely think you would probably be happier if you just moved to Israel. And that's not a dig at him. That's just a fact. It's a nudge of encouragement. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be healthy. I think you would be happier if you just moved to Israel. You could be over there singing songs with Mike Huckabee.
Seems like pretty sound advice. Rather than trying to make this country Israel, why don't you just go live in Israel? And here's what she had to say regarding Ted Cruz. Take a listen.
You are so blinded by your ridiculous, insane hatred of Tucker Carlson that you cannot see how irresponsible and hypocritical you are being. I mean, these tweets from Ted Cruz, I'm going to read you next, are a great example of this. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, "They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Political violence is a left-wing phenomenon. Enough is enough. We need to shut it down." And then in response to Fuentes and Tucker this week, he tweeted this. "Trump's bombing of the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. Good. So now you're turning around and you're calling somebody that you don't like a Nazi. You're doing this out of blind rage because you're so angry that the conservative base's attitudes are rapidly changing, that Nick Fuentes is getting national attention, and so you have turned around and in response, you are compromising your own values in anger, which is such a dangerous precedent to set. And unfortunately for you guys, yes, the attitudes are changing. So again, it makes sense why this group is incredibly frantic.
She's a voice of Gen Z, so you would think that the good thing to do here would be to listen, to break bread, for someone to reach out and invite her onto a show so they can talk about it, so they can hear their voices. You might recall Charlie Kirk did this. He sat down with Gen Z and said, "I'm trying to tell them that they are pushing an entire generation away with their actions." But we know how they responded to Charlie Kirk doing that. They started calling him an anti-Semite. They started squeezing him up into the last moments of his life.
I got to stop for a second. Everything... And please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but every sentence is not ended with the punctuation mark of Israel. Stop it. Like, literally, that's all that. She's a one-trick pony. Literally, the only thing she can talk about is Israel. And she talks about, now, hey, I do think that some of these people, their affection and their fawning over it is a little bit too much. You're doing too much. But Candace, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the exact same thing. She can't talk about anything else because she's only focused on Charlie. And if she's not focused on Charlie, it's Israel. That's it. That is all she has. Nothing else. And this is really, and again, I'm not saying that the representative was right. I mean, he's kind of out of pocket for sure. But ma'am, every sentence is not punctuated with Israel. It's just not. And you're making it this. And this is a trick. I'm sorry. This is a complete trick, a trap laid right in front of us, and we keep falling into it. I don't have an opinion about Israel. There's just too much I need to worry about right here. There's just too much. It's just not, I just don't have time for that. And I don't understand why this is a hard concept to understand. And I would love for somebody to push back on Candace. Like, what are you concerned about outside of Israel? Israel's not the reason why craziness is going on in Tennessee. That's just not it. It's just not. You're not going to convince me of that. And give me your evidence if you need to, if you try to, rather. It's just sad, man, because this is the problem. And I saw somebody said earlier she wants infighting. That's exactly what she wants. It's exactly what she wants. Oh, and by the way, I'm not taking advice from Brett Cooper. I'm just not. I'm not getting chastised by her. Somebody who's doggone 31 years younger than me. Ma'am, I'm sorry. You have not had the life experiences that I've had. Now you can say something and we can have a conversation about it. Absolutely. But I'm not taking your advice. When the smoke clears, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not. It's just not going to happen. Now, if Candace wants to sit there and sit at the feet of a 23-year-old, you do what you do, boo. Do you?
Life. They were making financial threats to him, and not just financial threats. They made good on those threats. People like Bob Shillman took $2 million away from him because he let Tucker Carlson hit the stage. They've learned nothing. That's
a random person.
And so rather than trying to reach across and say to Gen Z or to say to Brett Cooper, "Hey, I'd love to have you on our show," or hey, I'd love for you to meet this person, they're already calling her the white Candace Owens. If you're Aaron Wexler, here's an actual tweet. Okay, white Candace, what is a Nazi then? Like, what?
Wait.
How does that make any sense? Why are you calling Brett Cooper the white Candace? Like, why are you even thinking about the fact that Brett Cooper is white? Why do we keep seeing this recurring theme of Jewish supremacists constantly having to comment on white people? Like, why does she have to be the white Candace? That's ridiculous. We don't even have the same ideas. She's saying something sensible. But it gets worse. Ted Cruz, who's a pretty sensible guy, comes out and tries to big time her. I don't know how he thought that would land. She's 23 years old. It looks very loserish to try to big time a 23-year-old with, who are you? Here's what he had to say. I don't know who this angry lady is, but she's missing a key distinction. Fuentes calls himself a Nazi. He has said that Hitler is very cool and Hitler was right and he is on Team Hitler. If you explicitly side with and advocate for Hitler, you are an actual effing Nazi.
What is wrong with that sentence? Where's the lie in what Ted Cruz said? Point out the lie. Where's the lie?
Nazi. Like, first off, class it up. We don't need you dropping F-bombs to a 23-year-old. Secondly...
Hold on. Candace, you do it? You do it all the time. Y'all, come on. Stop playing. This woman, look...
Like I said, trying to big time her and act like you don't know who she is when you have done various things with the Daily Wire, including you were featured in a movie that Brett Cooper starred in at the Daily Wire, Lady Ballers. You're good friends with Michael Knowles. You know fully well who Brett Cooper is. And like, that was a super class.
Do you not make room for the fact that he also said, I don't know who this old lady is? I don't want to run it back, but he says, I don't know who this old lady is. Or let me see. What is he? Okay, I got to back it up. I don't want to do it, but hold on. Dang it. This angry lady. Do you make room that I think it's fair to say that Brett Cooper doesn't come across as an angry lady all the time? Do you make any room for what he's saying? That maybe I know her as being happy and bubbly and 23-year-old, pop culture commentator, and now we're looking at this angry lady. I don't know who this angry lady is. Why do you immediately go with he doesn't know who she is at all? I don't even understand that. That would just make sense. Like, if I came on the show and I'm dropping F-bombs, I'm drinking some cognac over here, smoking a blunt, y'all would probably say, I don't know who this man is. It would probably be, that would make sense. Not that you don't know who Jason is. You just don't know who the Jason is that's over here cussing and smoking and drinking. That would probably, y'all would be right to say, I don't know who that guy is. And you know what? If I did that, I bet you the people that know me more intimately than any of y'all would probably say, I don't know who that guy is. I don't even know who that dude is. Who is this guy that's talking loud outside of my kitchen? Because that's where Jason usually is. But this angry dude that's cussing and dropping profanity and smoking a blunt, I don't know who that guy is. This is not hard to think about. But as I said before, Candace gives no grace at all because she's okay with Brett Cooper being 23 years old. But as somebody just pointed out, Mikey's 23 as well. And he gets no movement at all. It is lockstep how he should behave. But Brett Cooper, she can be footloose and fancy free. Her frontal lobe is not developed.
Not just about trying to big time people, but you will find that there is this current of just sheer evil that Zionism goes hand in hand with, trying to deconstruct who an individual is very quickly. They began pouring through all of Brett's old content, looking for ways to go after her character. And they came across a clip of her speaking.
Unlike you going after Mikey, y'all, this cannot be real. This can't be real. Didn't you go after Mikey like that? I don't know who Jason is. I don't know. Editor Jason be acting up. Like, didn't you do that? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's come on. All right. I gotta take a station break. All right. If you need, I'm just asking questions, you can have it. If you need, I'm just asking questions, you can definitely have it. And you know what? I'm just feeling like chaos today. You can also have FBI. You can just have it because at this point, we're just doing whatever. We're just going footloose and fancy free. We're just riding crazy. We're riding dirty through the hood. So might as well just go on and have a good time. This is crazy work. I'm like, what am I seeing here? This woman, yo, man, shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Please, if you, good gracious, man.
Speaking to Sean Ryan last year. Now, before I give you the context of this clip, I want you to listen to it because it will really help you process just how spiritually evil and possessed these people are, okay? This is the tweet that went up, a couple of tweets that went up saying essentially she's a witch. I'm not kidding. This is a real tweet. What a surprise. Brett Cooper and her mom engage in witchcraft. She's not a conservative. I don't care how hard people want to gaslight me about it. Here's another tweet. Brett Cooper, the most...
I wouldn't mind them actually playing that clip. That clip is kind of weird. Hold on now. I think it's interesting. Candace didn't play that clip because what she said in there is not just... Hold on. What she says here, maybe I'll find it real quick and pull it up. Yo, it's not just him just saying that. The stuff she says is uber problematic. But I'm not surprised because remember, Candace, Charlie Kirk comes to Candace in her dreams. Remember that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up because we might have to look at that.
Tweet. Brett Cooper, the most recent hero of the woke right, is a secular, nominally religious spiritualist. Her views are inherently unchristian, but that doesn't matter to the woke right as long as she agrees with or permits their hatred of Jews. She's good to go in their book. This is not a Christian movement. Here is the clip they are referring to.
Play it.
We did all sorts of things. My mom visited mediums.
There we go.
After, I mean, I haven't done that, and I kind of want to, but she did. She went to multiple mediums, like one in New York where you don't tell them or even his assistant like who you are or anything about you, and you go to this hotel room, and he would just like sit there. Just like talking about it is so weird. And both her first husband and David popped up.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we're like, there's a 17-year-old young man here who wants to speak to you. I mean, it was like, I was actually just thinking about this meeting the other day. I was Googling, trying to see if I could find him. I need to ask my mom the name because I would love to go just do this. But yeah, she was able to speak to Don, her first husband, to hear from him. She had a miscarriage between the boys, I think, and I'm pretty sure that at one of the medium things that baby came in.
I gotta stop for a second. Did she say I wanted to do this? She wanted to find out who the medium was and wanted to go and engage with the medium? Okay, because that's normal Christian behavior, right, Candace? That's normal behavior. I'm not saying that we got to go out here and just rake the girl over the coals, but I don't think it's a lap too far to say that is not Christian behavior. But I don't expect Candace to know that. I'm not under any compulsion to believe that Candace understands, knows, or even has an opinion about what real Christian behavior is like.
Said something?
You know the lights just dimmed behind you twice.
I saw it.
So she said she wanted to go to a medium. I mean, come on. We don't have to make this a lap too far. We can all agree. She said that.
Okay, so now let me properly contextualize the conversation that they're having.
Whoa, hold on now. Hold on. Hold up. How does Candace know how to contextualize the conversation? I bet you she's going to say Charlie told her. I bet you.
It's actually...
This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it. So the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.